Live from the Soho Theatre, the Spontaneity Shop presents The Guilty Feminist with me, Deborah Frances-White, and my very special guests, Bec Hill, Fraser, Ria Lina and Anastasiya Ador. Are we not doing lights tonight? No? Oh! Hello. The first thing I've done is punch myself in the face with the microphone. But that was a metaphor for the patriarchy. That was all part of the performance. Speaking of the patriarchy, give me a cheer if you've brought a man here tonight, or come with a man, or a man's brought you. Excellent. On a scale of 1 to 10, how feminist would you say he is? Shout out the number.
5.
A 5. Excellent. I want to hear from you. Yes? Who was that? Just wave. Excellent. Great. Can we have the house lights up just a tiny bit? Not so much as to scare. Not so much as to scare anyone, just so I can see anybody in the dark. Tiny bit up. Tiny bit up. Tiny bit up. Tiny bit up. Just a little bit more, given it's currently nothing. So sorry, I think they're struggling getting the house lights up. Oh, lucky it's not a fire. Excellent. So 5. Who said 5? Excellent. You said 5. What merits a 5?
That's actually probably a bit unfair because
He
he bought me this for my birthday.
brought you this for your birthday. Okay, so we'll give him an extra point. Excellent. He brought you this for your birthday. That's so nice. Was it to make up for other things, though?
He's me, and he often does things like leave his laptop.
Okay. He's my flatmate, and he does things like leave his laptop around. Is that a problem because of what's on the laptop? Is that your idea of being messy? My God, you couldn't live with me. There's a laptop strewn over a table there. I can't live like this. We're living like pigs. There's a tablet there, there's a laptop there. Why is your phone not in its case in your room? Is that basically you? Yeah, you're Monica. He's Chandler, but you're not a couple yet. But Monica and Chandler weren't a couple for a long time. He has brought you on a date. This is a notorious date. Do you not know about the Guilty Feminist third date? Oh, it's notorious. Men who've met some lovely girl on Bumble... Woman. Sorry, I'm a feminist. I'm a feminist, but I told you, it was a guilty feminist. Met some lovely woman on Bumble, been on a date, been on another lovely date, both great dates. Third date, though, right? Right? He's had a kiss at the door. He's had a fumble on the bus. This is the third date. Where does he take her? Not to Pizza Express. Oh no, that's not going to get him any further. I got tickets for the Guilty Feminist. Have you heard of it? I'm a feminist, you see. I'm very safe. And also, what a charming, entertaining evening. We'll laugh. I'll throw my head back and laugh. Ha ha, the patriarchy. I agree. Awful. I'm not one of those. I'm one of you. Closes the deal. Notorious. Absolutely notorious. I've got more men laid in London than any other woman. Any other woman in London. I'm telling you that for nothing. So if your flatmate, quote unquote, has in fact brought you here to make up for the fact that he left his laptop on a table, I'm telling you, there's more going on. Now, I don't want to ruin the flatting situation because I'm sure it's going very, very well. But that's just some intel for you. Oh, there's some winking going on. There's some winking going on now. Meanwhile, someone is pointing at a man. Is it because you're on a third date? Second date. He's getting in there early. He's getting in there early. This is your second date. You are moving too fast, sir. Back away, back away. What are you going to do for the third date? Take her to the grave of Mary Wollstonecraft. What's that? You're bringing her back next week. Nice. We don't have a show next week, so I don't know where she's being taken. But please leave your name and his number with a trusted friend. Oh, well, that's nice. And why did you go on a second date out of interest? I'm asking her, not you. I know why you went. She's amazing. Look at her. She's amazing. He's quite nice. Okay, all right, quite nice. See, it depends where you're from. You're Greek, yes. Because quite nice in the UK could be a real insult because we are the most passive-aggressive nation on the face of the earth. He's quite nice. He's awesome. Okay, let's not get American about it. There's no need for that in a hot box on a Saturday night underground. We've come into a mine on purpose. It was 40 degrees up there. We've come into a mine. I don't know, why are we mining for comedy? Mining for comedy gold down here at Soho Theatre. Soho, it's such a lovely location. It's such a lovely location, and it's hardly ever hot in the UK, or it wasn't before climate change came for us. We've brought it on ourselves. Imagine this country in 10 years' time. It will be unlivable because it will be this hot and also underwater. That will be key. That will be key. We really have got to start doing something about it. I'm bringing people down by talking about climate change. Bring the house lights back down, please. Bring the house lights back down. Thank you. Let's not think about that. It's Saturday night and it's the 9:15 show. Of course, at 7 o'clock, we would be obliged to have a very important, serious activist on, but it's 9:15. I know that you're... who would say they're more feminist than guilty? Just nobody. Who would say you're more guilty than feminist? Do you know, last night, it was exactly the opposite. It was interesting. And I thought, Friday night, 9:15, they're all really earnest. But they were. We barely got a cheer for guilty of feminist. They were all like, feminist, we're all very feminist. And this is it, Saturday night. You know when to come. You don't come to the earnest shows. You know if it's a Tuesday, we're going to have something very serious on that you need to do something about it. You're not interested in that. You want the lols on the Saturday night, and I can respect your honesty. I respect your honesty. So tonight is a particularly lol-tastic night because who's been to the Edinburgh Festival Fringe? Who's going this year? Great. Okay, so we have 4 acts who are all comedians we love and know. They're taking their shows up to the Edinburgh Festival Fringe and they're giving us a preview. So some minutes of their show tonight, you get a little taster of their show, and then they're going to join me on the sofa. And by sofa, I do mean 2 old chairs on a shelf. They're going to join me on the shelf. And then we're going to chat a little bit more, have a little bit of banter, a little bit. That goes into Graham Norton-style territory. He's not coming, don't get excited. And then, so we're going to have 4 acts. So you're going to see, it's like a microwave Edinburgh Fringe in one night. Are you excited? Yeah! Excellent. Would you like to see our first act? Yeah! Then let me get my clipboard. What was the name of the person who is here with her flatmate?
My name?
Yeah. Olivia. Oh, you gave... And your mother's maiden name? Well done, I'll give you the last name. No one ever does that. And I'm not sure it's wise, but anyway. Olivia, I'm going to cut out of the podcast. That's what I'm going to do. But I'll tell you what, they're certainly not having an affair, are they? Not like old Jumbotron Coldplay. Olivia... I'm single and I'm here and I feel safe. We did a whole bit on that last night because, I mean, that's absolutely amazing. But did you see that Coldplay tweeted today and said, from now on in our concerts, we're going to have you can buy special tickets, I think, that are at a more expensive price, but you will be guaranteed not to be on the Jumbotron with your side piece. Side piece. So it'll be a side piece section. I'm sure they're joking, but still, it's a really good joke. Oh, what are you saying? That? You want that section?
She started telling me your gossip.
She started telling me the gossip?
The same gossip.
Oh, you were telling her the same joke. Do you know that's probably unnecessary? But I love your enthusiasm. I love your enthusiasm. I'm trying to take your hand, but she still remembers COVID. She's like, there's no touching here. There's no touching here. Absolutely. No, I absolutely understand. But I feel very confident that you are not the head of HR for anything, Olivia, because you've done full LinkedIn name and you're proud. All right, let me get my clipboard. The reason I was asking is I was going to say, can you busk while I do this bit? But you have now. I can't ask you to do more. All right. Our first guest is a wonderfully witty and whimsical comedian whose flip chart comedy has to be seen to be believed, sir. Coming to you now in this audio-only format. Please put your hands together and make incredible woohooing noises for a great friend of mine and a truly big talent, the wonderful Bec Hill!
Thank you. I'm Bec. Hi. Australian accent. A lot of people are surprised. Do you find that people surprised when they find out that you've lived in Australia and you came here?
Depends how long they talk to me. Sometimes they say, you sound really English, and then they go, there's something in your accent.
It's happiness. That's what it is. That's what you pick up on.
It comes and goes, Bec. It comes and goes.
There it is.
You'll hear it every now and again.
There we are.
Every now and again. You're terrible, Muriel. Anyway, this is your set.
I love it. I know. There's a timer and everything. But people are surprised when they find out I'm an Aussie because they're like, why would you come here? Why would you come here? Like, you could have nice warm weather all the time. Why are you here? And I tell them, have you ever tried doing comedy in a country where everyone's already happy? It's hard. You've got to go where the demand is. So it's nice to be here. My husband and I have completed a successful marriage, by which I mean we're getting divorced. Yay! It's great. Thank you. Give me a cheer if you're divorced. Woo! It's awesome. I like it. I wish more people had told me earlier. It's so good. Like, look, honestly, it was a really good marriage. We were very happy. We were each other's anchor, and being an anchor for someone is good. It helps when you're stuck in a storm. But it also stops you from getting to your next destination. And my next destination is Casual Sex Island. So, toot toot. So, I'm enjoying it. But it is sad. I won't lie, there are some sad aspects to divorce, even when they're amicable. Like, I'm going to miss the in-jokes, because everyone has in-jokes with their partners, don't they? Like, you've got in-jokes with your partners. You do. If you don't have them, get them now. They're great. Here's one. Every time we were walking down the street and a charity mugger approached us, we would have a fight. Because they'll stop. They're not going to talk to you. It's great. If there's anything you take away tonight, do this, right? And you don't need a partner. You could do this with a friend. You could do this with a family member. Just as you're walking down the street, if someone walks up to you with a clipboard and like they're about to ask you for your name and everything, just turn to the person next to you and say, well, I don't care if you don't like his name. If you didn't want to call him Elon, you should have said that 12 years ago. They'll stop. It works. The other in-joke we had was every night before we went to sleep, I would give him a little kiss, and then I would say, bye, and then I'd roll over and go to sleep. I thought that was quite nice, because if something happened to either of us, closure. Yeah? He laughed once, and then I did it every day. For the rest of our marriage. And I'm not saying that's why we're getting a divorce, but I don't think it helped. That and I kept stealing his underpants. Not like as a prank or anything, not like when he was in the shower or when we were at a wake. I just mean, I'd wear them. I think men's underpants are really comfortable. If you haven't worn them, do yourself a favour, get yourself fitted boxer shorts. We've been fighting all our lives for pockets and they've had one for their junk this entire time. A little crotch pocket. I'm so jealous. Crotch pocket. That's also what I call my junk. It's so airy. Have we got any non-penis owners in the audience who wear fitted boxer shorts? Oh, there's another thing you have to take away. I haven't had a yeast infection for years. I cannot recommend it enough. It's fantastic. So it's been interesting. So it's my first time single in my entire adult life. I've not been single my whole adult life. We were together for 16 years. Yeah. So it's been fun. It's been real fun. A lot of catching up to do. I started dating ladies as well. Thank you. Yep. Had to get the haircut first. Got to know somehow. Now I've doubled my chances of being rejected, so that's nice. It's really good. It's fun. I'd always kind of known, but I was in a monogamous relationship, and so it didn't really matter what I felt. But it'd been a bit like, when you see someone playing an accordion, and you're like, that looks like fun. But I tell you what, the first time you get your hands on one, you're like, where do I put my fingers? They really don't like it if you refer to them as a squeeze box. It's better than a crotch pocket, though. I'm going to tell you this. I'm a feminist, but the first time I was with a lady, I couldn't find the clitoris. I couldn't find it. Nobody tells you how different our junk is. No one tells you, because this is a thing, right? You go your entire life seeing penises everywhere. Everywhere. I have seen more penises at a bus stop than I have seen vulvas my entire life. And I came out of one. That's ridiculous, isn't it? There's something wrong with society when that's the case. Now, in fairness, it is harder to flash a vulva. Like, unless you have some sort of like reverse periscope situation, but then with that many mirrors, you do run the risk of blinding your victim, which is the opposite of what you're trying to do. So the thing is the first lady I was with, I am going to let you in on this. She was like a secret. You know, her junk was like a mystery. Like, her junk was a bit like, oh, don't look at me. Whereas mine's like, ha-ha, here I am, you know. It's like, how should I put it? She was like a neatly folded map. Whereas I'm a bit more like one of those newspaper hats. Yeah, she's like a closed mystery novel, whereas I'm a bit more like one of those children's pop-up books. Like, you can read both of them, but you wouldn't give her to beginners. She was sleek and smooth like an iPhone, whereas that's all very well and good, but I'm used to using a walkie-talkie. You know, it's clunky, but the button's obvious. That's what I'm saying. I've got one more. I'm a bit more like a chaise lounge. You know, I'm lush, I'm a bit relaxed, whereas hers is a bit more like flat-packed IKEA furniture. And I couldn't find the Allen key. But I am proud to now tell you that I am the proud owner of several Billy bookcases. So thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to finish up, but before I go, just to make sure that it's clear, because I never used to talk about my sexuality before I didn't see a point when I was in a relationship. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter who I'm interested in. I wasn't looking for anyone, so it shouldn't matter. But in case there's any doubt, if anyone asks me what sexuality I am, I say, bye, and then I roll over and go to sleep. Thank you. I'm back. Thank you.
Bec Hill, everybody! Come take a seat. Bec, that was wonderful. What's your show called this year?
It's called Guess Who's Bec, Bec Again, Bec Hill's Bec, Tell a Friend.
Snappy.
Yes.
I can see myself in the Pleasance courtyard going, it's something to do with Bec Hill, Bec Hill's Bec. Is it like Shady's back?
That's right, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I've many times thought of you as the female non-misogynistic Eminem.
Thank you. I get that so much. It's the bleached hair. And the way I spit mad rhymes.
And I really love the part that I've heard. Is a lot of this going to be about what it's like to end a marriage and then go out into the world? Is that going to be a lot of the exploration, finding your bisexual side?
In a sense, yeah. The thing, and you described it really, really lovely at the beginning. I'm a really silly visual comedian, and most of my stuff is that. But, you know, when you're doing a show, if you've got set pieces that you do, you want to, do something in between to kind of link them. And I really struggled to write this show. I got the worst writer's block that I've had my entire life. I did some previews in Adelaide, and it was a week before my opening, and I still hadn't written anything. And I'd never talk about my private life normally. I do a lot of kids entertaining, so you tend to not talk about your private life.
And you do a lot of wordplay and visual gags and things like that aren't this vulnerable opening up the chest and going, here I am, this is who I am. We learn a lot about you because of your playfulness. You're revealing sides to yourself and bringing playful sides of us out through your work. So it's not like we're not learning anything about you, but in terms of your private life, I've never heard you talk about it on stage before.
No. And it's terrifying. A lot of the stuff that you just heard is stuff that I've literally only written very recently. So it does hurt even more when people don't laugh. But it's it's terrifying. And I realise now why so many comics Like, I've always admired comics who can just stand there and talk. Like, I can't. That's so vulnerable. That's so it's so scary. There's nothing to hide behind. Like, normally I'm like, oh, look at the pictures I've drawn. Ha, ha, ha. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm going through, what my day's been like, what heartbreak I'm going through or whatever. Like, I'm like, look at the pictures, look at the pictures.
Yeah.
So this has been like a really weird experience, yeah.
Have you learnt anything? Has it been like therapy? Because whenever I've done stand-up storytelling shows that have that element of personal revelation, and I've done quite a few. I did one about finding my birth mother. I did one about opening my marriage and exploring bisexuality, and I did one about leaving a cult. And so I'm used to sort of telling stuff and like doing that. For me, often it's therapy. It's like, I mean, it's much cheaper than a therapist. If anything, they pay you. Have you found it therapeutic, and have you found through having to articulate your ideas, you know more about yourself now?
Oh, 100%. This is the first time I've written a show where the last time I did a show was in 2019 before COVID, and that's how bad my writer's block was. It was for 6 years.
Wow.
I struggled. And I wrote this because I was like, I have to get back to what makes me feel like me, and that's performing. And so I was like, okay, I just have to let go of making something for a purpose. Like, I don't want to make it for, like, as much as the audience is necessary. Like, I was so focused previously on, like, making sure it's just about the audience and not about myself that I sort of ran myself empty. And it's the first time I've done something that's just for me. It's just for me. And trying to market it to people was hard because it is for me. And if someone said to me, oh, I'm doing this show, it's like some silly stuff, and then I talk about divorce, I'd be like, I'm not seeing that. That's boring. I don't want to see that. It's a comedy. I want to see comedy. And so the best way I can describe it is I wrote this for me, and you're welcome to come along.
Nice. Well, I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of it because it's very relatable. Whether or not you've ever had a divorce, no doubt you've had a breakup or some similar traumatic ending that also was an open door. And I think you're going to really, really love it. Have you got any I'm a Feminist buts for us?
Other than what I said in the set, yeah, I'm a feminist, but I didn't know that there was a vulva version of the word phallic.
Oh.
Because we say phallic all the time. Like,
what is it?
the
Vulvic. Vulcan.
So Vulvic does work. Vulcan. Let's get Vulcan going. That'd be
that's
great.
what I'm thinking.
Because also, no, that's not Vulcan, is it? That's the other one.
That is Vulcan.
Is it Vulcan?
Yeah, that's Vulcan.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper.
Because that is a bit, if you think
If you're
about
listening
it,
at home, we're doing live long and prosper fingers.
is that why they're called Vulcans?
Oh, because of the scissoring you can do with the hands. Maybe instead of doing that, you're meant to do that.
Yes.
If you're listening at home, we're now scissoring the live long and prosper hands. Continue.
I didn't realise. So it's sort of some contention, but like kind of the most mainstream one is yonic. Yonic, yeah.
Let's get yonic.
Yonic. So
the yonic woman.
Yeah, that's right. There's Chella Quint, who's done a PhD in sex ed. She was explaining that you might say that the Empire State Building is phallic, but the Sydney Opera House is yonic.
Oh.
Or the Hollywood Bowl is yonic. Yeah.
I'm going to start using that every day.
Isn't that
every
fun?
day I'm going to find a way to wedge it into a meeting. I'll be on a Zoom and I'll be like, oh, someone's just sent me a picture of the Sydney Opera House. How yonic. Make people look it up. I'm going to spread that word. I'm a feminist, but back in the dressing room, Bec Hill gave me the tip that if you use self-tanner, you don't need foundation. So I realised I had a bit in my bag, so I put it on. So I'm a feminist, but over the next hour, I may develop in front of you like a Polaroid. I'm going to develop, okay? So that's something entertaining to watch in addition to the show for no extra money. Bec Hill, where can we see your show?
It's on at 7 p.m. at Gilded Balloon, Appleton Tower, from the 9th of August to the 24th.
And will you be touring it afterwards? Or doing any shows in London?
We'll see.
So where should we follow you, in that case, to find out?
You can find me on all sorts of social media. I'm Bec Hill Comedian or Be Chill Comedian if you read it wrong.
Excellent. And I have many times. Give it up for Bec Hill! Be Chill! All right. Our next guest is an award-winning writer, stand-up and broadcaster, named as one of the funniest comedians of the 21st century. And she regularly appears on the News Quiz, The Bugle and many more. Please welcome to the stage the wonderful Alice Fraser!
Alas, poor Yonick, I knew him, Horatio. I am so thrilled, Deborah. I can't wait to see if you end this show in blackface.
God, is this the night I'm going to get cancelled?
Hello, that was not how I planned to start the show. I wrote a book. This is exciting for me because I spent a lot of my life being told that I should write a book and not writing a book. Does anyone here feel like they should have written a book? Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, this is the show that I'm going to do is about basically that. Spoiler alert: I do end up having written a book. It's a silly book about romance novels. So I fought that kind of imposter syndrome for a very long time. I thought, who am I to have imposter syndrome? Only real artists have imposter syndrome. And I didn't think I was real. I thought, because I thought the books that I read were not legitimate enough, right? Like I wasn't reading fancy enough, important enough books. Who here, what's your reading diet like? Who here reads books that they are proud to be seen reading? Just by show of hands? Or maybe by woo, given that this is a podcast, yeah? Yeah, who here, you'll happily pull out the book you're reading on the train, for example, yes? Yeah. For who here was Kindle a boon? Yeah, who here is slightly embarrassed about their reading habits? Yeah. Who here wishes they read more but mostly scrolls through reels? Yeah. I think that is my one saving grace is I cannot deal with reels content. Like I spent most of my adult life trying to piece together stories. So if you give me 10 pieces of unrelated information in a row, I feel like my brain is starting to peel away from reality and at the patterns, puppy dog, war crime, glute, pick, inspo, fitspo, I just think, what is this? Oh yes, the dogs of war shit on the gleaming buttocks of progress. Yeah. Elon Musk, Andrew Tate, muffin recipe, lactation advice, self-defense, Brazilian jiu-jitsu class, and I'm like, yes, don't let men whose outward expression of misogyny shows that they've never been near a strong woman anywhere near your tits. I'm just trying to piece together narrative. So I can't do reels. My one saving grace is that I read long-form garbage. It's very silly and it's very fun. So I wrote a book about romance novels. Because it's fascinating to me how it expresses our sexuality, the way that we engage with shame, and they outsell all other fiction genres by an order of magnitude, but nobody talks about them. I think it's fascinating and exciting, and it tells you so much about people. Who here has ever paid for sex? Not in cash, in regret. Just because I was once part of the worst threesome. It wasn't even my sex that I was paying for. I got on a flight from Australia to the UK and I was in the middle seat. Do you know how couples sometimes do that thing where they buy the window and the aisle in the hope that no one will buy the seat in between, and if someone does, they'll swap, right? And I sat in between these people, and as we were about to take off, I was ready to say, I can swap with either of you if you want to sit next to each other. And as we began this 26-hour flight, they broke up. It wasn't a quiet, calm breakup. It was a loud, acrimonious, showing me Instagram reels. Like I was somehow the witness in this. I was being argued to as though I was the one who would get to pull the hammer down at the end of the 26-hour flight. And at one point, he was like, I can't believe you made me read ACOTAR. I can't be a fairy. I can't take advice from that book. ACOTAR is A Court of Thorns and Roses, by the way. And it's a story in which a lady gets swept from her normal life life in a sort of a fairy tale situation by a fairy prince, and they have passionate sex, and he protects her, and it makes her feel safe, and then after a while she starts to realise that he's too protective and that she can't express her freedom and she can't escape, and he starts to be too protective until eventually he imprisons her in their own home, and she blows the roof off through her magic, and she escapes, and then she hooks up with a dark prince who's evil, but is he evil or is he secretly protecting her interests even at the cost of his own reputation? Yes, he is. And then they have amazing sex, and then they're fated mates, right? And their sex blows the roof off the world, right? And he read that, and his answer to that was, well, I can't be a fairy. And I just think men need to read more romance novels. I'm a feminist, but I think men have no idea what is sexy about men. Men have absolutely... I was coming down. I was at the end of this very flight. I was coming down from Heathrow Airport down that very long escalator into the tube station at Heathrow, and I was behind a couple, a very pregnant lady. Behind her was her husband, and he had the baby on his front, and he was carrying those two big international suitcases, 25 kilos in each hand. There was like 7, we were coming down the escalator, 7 individual women came up the escalator, and then 2 single men. And as each woman came up the escalator, she went... Right? And then as the men came up the escalator, they looked at each other and were like, pussy whipped. Men have no idea what is sexy about men. He could have lined those women up against a wall and just done his... done his dick up against them. All right. And his wife would have applauded. You don't understand... Are there men in the audience who have read... Who here is a man in the audience who's read a romance novel? One. Okay, you have to come see the show. You have to. Email me or text me or hit me up on the social media. Tell me the books you like to read, and I will prescribe all of you a romance novel that will suit your taste, because I think men need to know. Men need to understand in themselves that they are attractive and appealing, because I think otherwise you're like, well, I got to trick her, I got to bully her, I got to hustle her, I got to hassle her. You have to be strong and confident in yourself, because otherwise you see women as something that needs to be tricked or trapped. That's not the funny bit of the show, but it is something that I thought would play well with this audience, and don't get me started. I also think old men in power should stop taking mega doses of testosterone, because I do think part of being a man, again, I'm a feminist, but I do think it's very important for men to at some point get fat and anxious and go, wait a minute. Like, I've spent the last 10 to 15 years stabbing my way to power. Maybe I better think about my decisions for a while. All right. I'm going to finish up with a little game, just a fun little game called Is It Real or Is It a Pretend Romance Novel? Because I have written a book satirising romance novels, and it was incredibly difficult because these things are fucking insane. So I'm going to read you a synopsis of a romance novel, and you will tell me by woo whether you think it is a real romance or a real comedy. Book number 1. Catalina Brown is a tattoo artist who gets commissioned to tattoo a tentacle on a man's penis. They hook up, which I assume is a grave breach of penis tattooist ethics. And then she finds out that he is a were-octopus. And then she finds out that she is a were-octopus, and in were-octopus society, men outnumber women 5,000 to 1. He is Octoposeidon shapeshifter Calder Croft, that's his name. They call themselves Octoposeidons. He caught Catalina's succulent scent when she passed his California marina, and she couldn't ignore the way he fired her blood. He has to help her accept her Octoposeidon heritage, or she will succumb to madness. Real or not real, here's a clue. They have were-octopus sex in which only their bottom half changes. Round of applause for real. Round of applause for I Made It Up. Israel, Passionate Ink. 3 stars on Goodreads. Book 1 of the Tentacles Shifter series by Jan Springer. Do I have time for one more? Yeah. Book number 2, Violet needs a job to help her pay off her student loans. When she sees a job posting at the Morning Glory farm, she decides to take a chance on it as it pays well, even if she's hesitant about the actual work, which entails milking minotaurs. Giving hand jobs to minotaurs to collect their ejaculate for a pharmaceutical company. She ends up not minding the work too much, except for the burgeoning feelings she has towards one of her clients, Rourke, an out-of-her-league minotaur who is also a self-made billionaire. Real? Did I make it up? Clue, the first half of the book is mainly technical descriptions of how to get good at giving efficient minotaur hand jobs. It is Morning Glory Milking Farm, book 1 in the Monster Bait series of supernatural romances with a hand job twist by C.M. Nascosta. And this is just a quick one. It's set in modern America. He's a circus performer who's also a professor, who's also a millionaire, who's also a lost Romanov. And she can telepathically communicate with tigers. Round of applause for real. Round of applause for I made it up. It's real. It's real. They're all fucking real. It is impossible to satirize this genre, and yet I have deftly and efficiently done that. So buy my book, and also thank you for listening.
Alice Fraser, everybody!
Big Speeches is back. Hello, Guilty Feminists. It's Jessica Regan here. Delighted to tell you that our online communication workshop, Big Speeches, is back with a bang for the end of the summer. Okay, so if you would like to participate in our workshop, which has helped hundreds of Guilty Feminists already, please do book for one of the following dates. We're hosting the workshops at the end of August, the 30th and 31st, Saturday and Sunday, and those workshops are at 10:30 a.m. At the end of September, we're hosting workshops the 28th and the 27th, so Saturday and Sunday again, and those workshops are at 3 p.m. So hopefully there's a bit of flexibility with time zones and routines, etc. We want to help anyone who wants to participate in this workshop make it happen. We have a subsidised rate, and we have also lowered our prices for the standard rate. So please do get online, places are limited, and we really want to accommodate you. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Come take a seat. Come take a seat.
I've ended up with 2 microphones.
You've got 2 microphones, which looks like something out of one of your romance novels. It looks like a double-penised minotaur. I'm going to pop this here.
Hello.
Alice.
Hello.
That was
Hi.
absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
I read your book and I thought it was absolutely delightful. Can you give the full name of your book so the audience can buy it?
Oh, I should have done. Yes, it's called A Passion for Passion, and it's got a picture of me on the front, which I argued so hard for. It was.
Because did you get this incredible creation that you're wearing out?
Yeah. I tacked this together, and I did this photo shoot, and I was like, no, the man needs to be bigger. Like I wanted a full Fabio being hit in the face with a seagull, and they're like, no, the symbolism of the cover, he has to be smaller than you, and I'm like, you don't understand. He's landscape, you know. But yeah, we figured it out eventually. They wanted to
really
shelve
fantastic.
it in literary criticism.
What did literary criticism?
Next to eat shoots and leaves.
Oh, amazing. What kind of response have you had to the book?
Amazing. It has been so nice. I have had, like, the main email that I've gotten, which is so heartwarming, is people who've been like, you've made me hold my head a little bit higher about the insane, silly, you know, like I'm into Yu-Gi-Oh! And Mighty Ducks, and I've always been ashamed, and I just told my wife. You know, like, it's really just, because it's just an argument for the importance of silliness, like the value of silliness and the pleasure of silliness in the world.
Something that I argued in the Guilty Feminist book was when people denigrate rom-coms, but they, you know, men often, male critics will find lots to like in action films and say that war films are very important, but rom-coms are very unimportant. And I was arguing that actually, I think the reason women go for rom-coms, it's one of the only genres where you see female heroes being proactive and taking charge and making decisions. So it's not that we don't want novels and books about other genres where women take those decisions, but often that's where we find the most proactive heroes that are female.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I was thinking about what, all going through my head, all the reasons why this is such a denigrated genre, why people are so ashamed and embarrassed if they like romance novels, because they're incredible, beautiful, life-changing romance novels. There are also fucking nonsense garbage, but, there's a lot of that in every genre. But people are like, oh, it's unrealistic. And I'm like, yeah, it's not more unrealistic to imagine a cowboy with 8 abs who gives amazing head and is going to invest in your donkey sanctuary business. So that's not more ridiculous to imagine than, like, a James Bond walking into a bar and, like, killing someone with a pen.
And then taking home the most gorgeous woman in the bar.
Being slightly mean to a lady who then bangs him and immediately dies. Like, I just...
Yeah.
And I sort of ended up in the show talking quite a lot about masculinity because it feels like the model of modern masculinity is mainly Major General based. But that aside, the model of modern masculinity is super sterile. It's like this. Like James Bond is shooting blanks. Like he's not nurturing or propagating or building anything. And I know so many good men who are looking after the people around them. And just quietly sacrificing bits of their lives to take care, but because they're not jumping in front of a train, they feel emasculated by these models of masculinity. And it's so deranged to me. Men do not understand what is sexy about men. And there's like these, there's these 12th century bog kings, right? I bet you didn't think you were going to hear that at this show. And they found these bog kings, and they're dressed in finery. They found them in bogs. They got chucked in a bog, and they have their nipples chopped off, and they're dressed in finery, nipples chopped off, chucked in a bog.
They're real, just to be clear.
Yeah. And the hypothesis is that they were the chieftains of various tribes, and their job was to feed their people. And in times of famine, they were not nurturing their people. So, like, symbolically, nipples off in the bog.
Right.
And somewhere between the bog kings and James Bond, we lost the idea that part of masculinity was to be nurturing, right?
Well, it's interesting because if you read the Bible, like David is always like ripping his garments and crying from grief, and there's a lot of emotion in it, and there's a lot of showing of emotion was seen to be very, very masculine. In the Greeks, the Bible, and we have got to this place where it's all about never crying and being buttoned up. I don't know if you saw Jacob Rees-Mogg recently. There's a video going around of him saying, the interviewer saying to him, when was the last time you cried? And he said, well, I've never cried as an adult. And I've not cried since I was a child. And she says, but why not? He said, it's absolutely ridiculous. People just need to stop complaining and stiffen their upper lip and just crack on. And then he said something like, I have got a little bit upset sometimes when Lord Elmsley's got stuck in the mud. I think that's his pig. He's got pigs. I'm a little bit upset, but no tears, nothing like that, absolutely ridiculous. And so we've gone from these ideas of masculinity that were emotive and could be nurturing and other things into this very specific place. And now we think that is the framework and that's the way things are. But it's never the way things are. It's just the way things have evolved and are now.
Well, yeah, there's so many men who are sort of fascinated by the concept of protecting their family by shooting someone when they could protect their family by washing their hands more.
Yes, absolutely.
Statistically speaking, in terms of impact.
It's true. People who say, I would die for my child, I would kill for my child and go to jail for my child, but I would not change my child's nappy. It's just that thing. I pick the child up every day at 3 o'clock after nursery. I don't think so. It's just... Because that's the relentless thing, isn't it? That's the tedious thing, the relentless thing, the thing where you have to remember. And that's not the big heroic thing. And you're right, we've just seen so many models of men being super heroic.
It is the big heroic thing. That's the thing. It is your chance. It's your opportunity.
Yeah. But you only have to die for someone once. But you have to pack a lunch every single day. And that's why, in some ways, I think it's a bigger sacrifice.
I just flew from Australia to London with a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I got through it by saying, you can do anything for 12 seconds at a time. It's a 26-hour flight.
Alice, I do hope everyone buys your book and reads it, and I hope everyone who can possibly get to the Edinburgh Festival Fringe or the shows beyond come and see your shows. Where can we see your show in Edinburgh?
You can see the show here at the Soho Theatre from the 6th to the 9th of August, and you can see it in Edinburgh from the 11th to the 25th of August. So.
Great. Oh, so you guys can come back here if you're not going up to the Fringe. Great. 6 to the...
6th to the 9th of
6th
August.
to 9th. Will you be in this?
I will be even more in this.
Because it's quite hot tonight. I've had to take my jacket off.
Yeah, but I figure I can just put ice up it.
You can do anything for 12 seconds at a time. Alice Fraser, everybody! Thank you. Thank you, darling. Our next guest is a comedian with 3 science degrees who is regularly seen on TV shows like QI, Mock the Week and Pointless. Please welcome to the stage the wonderful Ria Lina!
Hi. Oh my goodness, I feel very underdressed, but I'm just getting to that stage of my life where I don't give a shit. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it turns out exciting. Can I share this news with you? We don't have to touch, it's up to you. I'm perimenopausal. I should have guessed it when I filed for divorce. Wasn't expecting it, I'll be honest, even though all the women in my family traditionally do it early because we're Asian, we're efficient. My mother went through perimenopause. She started at 35, so I should have seen it coming. Now, I know I'm speaking to a mix. Now, some of you know perimenopause. You are very intimately familiar. Am I right? Yep. And their partners are as well, presumably. No, they're not here. No, of course they're not. They just went, please, no. So perimenopause, if you're not clear about what that is, it's a woman's second adolescence. It's a woman's second adolescence. And I actually have teenagers who are going through their first adolescence. And I live with my ex-husband, who's about 70 years old, so he's going through the menopause. So we're all just like hormonal in my household right now. And I gotta be honest with you, it's really bringing us together as a family. Do you know what I mean? It's really sweet. But if you're not familiar with perimenopause, it's basically like Teenage Angst, the sequel. The same hormones, but this time it's personal. Still petty, slightly forgetty, ferociously sweaty. Perimenopause is like hormonal Brexit. All of your hormones voted to leave, but no one coordinated the exit strategy. You're like Northern Ireland. You've got no idea what's going on or when or how much it's going to cost you. Right? To give you a real feel for it, if you really have no idea what perimenopause is like, do you remember the film Thelma and Louise? I know this is going back a bit. You don't have to know it. All you need to understand is that at the end of the movie, Thelma and Louise drive off a cliff, okay? And that was a happy ending. All right? So perimenopause is essentially Thelma and Louise, but Thelma's estrogen and Louise is progesterone, and they drive themselves off a cliff. And you're the female equivalent of Brad Pitt who has to stand there on the cliff edge and make sure they're dead. But they're not dead just yet, no, because they're gonna crawl back up again, right? Bloodied and angry before chucking themselves off the cliff again. And they're gonna keep doing that over and over and over again for about 10 years, right? Sometimes it's just estrogen that crawls up. Sometimes it's just progesterone. Sometimes they leave it so long you're not even sure that they are coming back. You're like, oh my God, I think they're gone. I think they're finally gone. And then suddenly one of them pops up and you go, holy fuck, and you have to take a morning after pill to calm down. Until eventually, one day, they are both definitely gone. Both of them gone forever. And you stand there, looking out over the cliff over which your youth has perished, before turning around, tripping over a rock and breaking both your hips. That's menopause. That's perimenopause, and so happy to be in it. I think it didn't. I'm not saying perimenopause caused my divorce, okay? As I sort of intimated to you, there was a bit of an age gap. Me and my ex-husband, we're just two different people by the end of the marriage, all right? I was a millennial, he was vulnerable, two very different generations, you know. And don't get me wrong, like my body's going through changes, his body's going through changes. I mean, the man's almost 70 years old. It's really very impressive what he can achieve, if I'm honest. I mean, he's practically 80, and he has a verve for life that you just don't see in someone that age, because someone that age is usually dead. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, this is how we met, right? This is how we met. I was at uni when my hormones were working properly. I say properly. I mean, they still didn't help the situation, but I was at uni, and I took one look at my kung fu master at the time, and estrogen just sort of went, oh my God, he's got a six-pack and a motorcycle. And totally drowned out progesterone, who was there in the corner going, I don't think this is a good idea. And estrogen was like, oh my God, shut up, he has a motorbike, right? Testosterone, by the way, was just floating around, leaning over by my adrenals going, are we gonna fuck him? Yeah, we should fuck him, let's fuck him. Oh my God, let's fuck him. Gotta hit him a little, show him who's really boss, yeah. Right? So that's how we got together. That's how we met. And you know, and I have just okay, if you think I'm lying, if some of you are looking at me going, you're just making this shit up for the sake of a show, I have just had a total and entire mind blank. Like, I have no idea where I'm going next with that. Estrogen has left the fucking building. It's just like, oh my God, girl, you're on your own, okay? Bye. Meanwhile, in the corner, I think FSH and LH are just going, do you want an egg? 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 Who wants an egg? My ovaries over here with my old husband going, I'm sorry, what did she say? I can't. Okay. I don't have an ending for this bit. Genuinely, it's just gone. You know. Anyway, so my show's called Rebellion. I'm gonna sit in the step now. Thank you.
Ria Lina, everybody! Ria Lina, that was exceptional.
Thank you.
That was exceptional.
Do you know, I'm so pleased that I remembered 5 minutes of my hour-long show. I don't know what I'm going to do in Edinburgh. I'm going to have like an auto cue or teleprompter. What
I do is I have when I'm learning a show, is I have a piece of paper with bullet points on next to a drink of water. And I just go over like I'm just, you know, one of those self-satisfied pauses comedians take when people are laughing. I'm just going to let you laugh for a while. I get a drink, and while I'm drinking, casually, nothing wrong with drinking, I look down at my page and go, oh yeah, and then I go back. And I think if you don't expect, I think people don't really expect, if it makes you feel any better, Grace Petrie was singing a song last night. It's much harder in a song to riff. So she just stopped and went, oh, I've just written these lyrics. Yep. And she went on. I think people love seeing. I think when you're still doing a work in progress or you're previewing, do you get a bit of a kick when someone's like, oh, something's gone wrong? Have you ever been to the ballet and seen a ballet dancer fall over? It's amazing. Oh, it's the greatest night because you're like, no one else has seen that. Only we have seen that. We've been through an experience together. You know when people get married because they go through typhoons together and then like, only we will ever understand. We're connected and everyone's sort of, exactly all these hormones that you're talking about go rushing around their body and lots of people get married.
Or they don't, or they leave. I mean, who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, but there's that feeling of people do get married after they've been through a disaster or something unexpectedly together. I think it's probably the same. Probably loads of people marry strangers after seeing a ballet dancer fall over or seeing an opera singer lose their voice or something.
You know, I'm quite excited by that. So that not only means that, A, my show will be different every day of the Fringe, because who knows which bit I'm going to forget, bullet points or not. But B, I might end up marrying one of the men in the audience after we share that special experience.
Yes.
I mean, I am a feminist, but I hope he's rich.
I feel, though, you have to learn from what happened last time, because you just explained that you just saw a man on a motorbike.
I did, and then with abs. He had abs.
Abs, and you married the abs and the bike more than the man.
Do you know what it was? It was because when I was young, I thought I liked older men, right?
Yeah.
But then 20 years into the marriage, I realized I like 40-year-old men.
Oh.
Which
That's
he was
different.
no longer.
And 40-year-old men can be very hot because they know themselves, they've settled into themselves, they've got some financial security, and therefore they're relaxed, not necessarily so much about the money,
they know how
but
to gaslight you
they're
as
relaxed.
a teenager. Yeah, no, all of those things.
They know how
Very
to gaslight
sexy.
you if you are... Were you a teenager?
How
old were you?
Let's just say I was at my undergrad.
Oh, you were undergrad, so you were uni, you were 19.
Oh, no, I was legal. He made sure of that. But look at my face now. Like, I didn't look legal. It was dodgy.
I literally cannot believe this conversation and where it's going, and I'm shocked, appalled, and gripped.
I'm actually working with Alice on a book of my life.
I need to know more now. But you have 2 children?
3.
3 children.
But we only acknowledge 2.
literally can't believe what you're saying. Everything out of your mouth is worse than the last thing. This is the thing.
Listen, you were talking earlier about how much you give up for your kids, and I was thinking backstage, who would I give a kidney to? And definitely there's one kid that doesn't deserve a kidney. Do you know what I mean? Like, if anything, it's like, that's why you're here. You're my spare kidney, all right?
Oh, wow.
Like, step up or give out. You
Is
know what
that
I mean?
in your show?
That was in the last show.
So you have 3 children with this man, and he's now...
I do, and a stepson. So I have he had a son, and that's one of the reasons why I had my kids so young, is because he already had a son, and I'm like, I'm not going to raise your kid for 10 years, then have my kids.
Right.
So we just had them
Do
all
them all
together.
at the same time.
Do them all at the same
Get
time.
them done.
Get them done.
So how done are they now?
I've got one that I still get child benefit for.
Okay. But you're saying they're adolescent now, so there's a lot of hormones going on.
There are so many hormones in our house right now.
I've heard
so many
this.
hormones.
I've heard that people...
Except for my husband, he's
'cause
menopaused.
you're
He's
young-
like, he got none.
You're young for menopause.
Yes.
Because
but
a lot of people have kids later now than they used to when we lived in villages. And I've had friends say to me, there's a reason we're meant to have kids at like 20, because otherwise we have kids at 30 and then we're going through our menopause where the kids are adolescent. There's somebody nodding very wisely going, like she's in church, going, hallelujah. Have you experienced this? Friends who have, yeah, that we shouldn't be going through menopause while someone in the house is going through adolescence, and yet we all are, and that's why everybody's going crazy.
Well, I can tell you this for a fact. We don't sync up. That's not true. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought maybe the crazies would cancel each other out. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you have one sinusoidal wave and then the other, and they can cancel each other out. Nuh-uh. Like, I thought white wine on red wine. Great. No, it's red wine on red wine. That's what's going on. And then, and then there's me stabbing my ex-husband on the stain just so that no one knows how much wine I wasted. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy.
I'm not sure I caught all of that, but tell me anyway, where is your show going to be? Where can we see it?
It's on at 2:25 every day, apart from GCSE and A-levels results days.
Very good, very good.
At Cab Voltaire.
Cab Voltaire
Cab
at the
Voltaire.
Edinburgh Festival. All people are very excited about that.
They're excited. I'm excited, but I'm also wondering if there's enough Wi-Fi for me to like bucket at the end of it. Like, this is how my brain works. I'm excited. It's a wonderful venue.
I'm sure you will. So it's free Fringe.
It's a bit of both. So
But people pay at the end when you say bucket at the end.
So Monkey Barrel has this wonderful system, which is great for the artists, where you can buy a ticket in advance if you want to schedule your time and just make sure you have a seat, and we guarantee those seats.
Right.
And in fact, actually, if you're not coming to the Ed Fringe, you can also buy a ticket to my show. Feel free.
It really helps that there are some free shows, or free. We call it free at the point of use. Free at the point of use. You should pay something at the end, especially if you've enjoyed it. But if you are a student and all you can do is £1 or 50p, that's absolutely fine. That makes the Fringe so much more affordable, given every night in a hotel is £2,500.
It's so true. So then what we do is so let's say I sold 20 tickets at a show, then the rest of the seats, we have a queue, and they'll fill the rest of the seats from the free line. So you can, so again, if you're going, that's not in my budget, then you can still get in and see some fabulous
Absolutely.
shows.
Some
And
really
it's a
fabulous
great
shows.
system for the
And
artists.
will you be bringing it back to London for these good people, or around the UK?
It's going on tour in September.
September, so
all
watch
around
out
the
for
UK.
it. It's called...
Rebellion.
Rebellion. It's the wonderful Ria Lina, everybody! Our final guest, we're nearly there, gang. Our final guest is a Belarus-born actor, writer, and comedian who now works across stage and screen in the United Kingdom. Her solo show work explores migration, belonging, and identity through humour, physical storytelling, and clowning. Please welcome to the stage, Anastasiya Ador.
Good evening. You probably had no idea what I was singing about. Good. I hated the song. I hated the song. I hated this dress. I hated growing up in my country. By the way, I got this dress when I was 14, back in Minsk. Minsk is in Belarus. Yes, it's a real country. No, it's not Russia. But 17 years later, this dress still fits me. And I think it's thanks to Chernobyl and the magic of lingering radiation, or maybe elastic organs. Who knows? But it still fits me. When I was growing up, hating my roots, I always thought it's because of my mother. Because she was so feisty. She loved smoking those slim cigarettes and colored her hair red and danced when she wanted to. Oh my God, in a country where you mostly follow mail order, she even fought a man on a bus when he said she wasn't friendly enough. Fuck off, she told him. She was this beautiful, stunning, confident, amazing woman, and I was furious. How dare she be everything I'm pretending to be? I think she's really cool. That's not the reason I hated my roots. I think the reason I hated my roots was because of where I'm from. Okay, so when the West talks about Eastern Europe, right, it's only just two things: Chernobyl and women. And honestly, it's women you should be afraid of. Ooh. Like, name me at least one Western film in which an Eastern European character is not portrayed as a gold digger or mail order bride or a beautiful, tragic mistress. Hello? Hi. Sorry. My English not good. Please help me. But I want all your money, honey. But you know what? Actually, they are right. I think it's great what they're doing. They should tame us. God forbid anybody show the truth. Tough, multilingual Eastern European women who know how to handle an assault rifle, border crossing, UK visa interview, and who absolutely do not fake an orgasm for anyone's fragile little ego. No, no, no. I'd be scared too. Just imagine if they portrayed us like that. God, people might have thought that we have to be saved, but no, they keep trying and trying to get us. They love us so much, they have to get involved. But maybe it's because they love our president so much. I cannot take his name, but he's been in power since 1994. That's before Wi-Fi. At this point, this president is not even a politician anymore. He's just like an annoying wallpaper that nobody can peel off. But I must say, he is a great clown, okay? Everything I know about acting and comedy is from him. He is hilarious. Actually, can I do one thing with you guys? Can you give me a round of applause for a second? Just... Stop! Whoa! Guys, that's illegal, okay? Belarus is the only country where clapping is banned. I told you he's really funny, but it's a true story. So in Belarus in 2020, there was a silent protest. People were just standing and clapping. And the government was like, absolutely not! Clapping is Western propaganda. So how do you escape this oppressive state? You learn English, the language of the most influential colonizers. How exciting. When I was 7, my oldest sister, Oля, taught me English and choreography, because that's how we learn English where I'm from. Choreography first, vocabulary later.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Don't tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna, really, really, really wanna zig. If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever. Friendship never ends.
And this is how I learned English, where I'm from. And so when I was a teenager, armed with my English skills, I was ready to leave Belarus and move to the West. But I moved to India instead when I was 16. But to know more about that, come and see my show Foreign Girl at the Edinburgh Fringe. Love you, thank you so much. Mwah.
Anastasiya Ador, everybody come take a seat. Thank you so much. That was really wonderful, and I have to say quite surprising.
Okay, I know, right? For Eastern European. I think I did well.
I think for anyone that was surprising.
I almost killed myself,
I don't
though.
think that was. I just wouldn't have expected anybody doing that set to suddenly dance to the Spice Girls with ribbons. I just couldn't have predicted it, you know.
But to be honest, this ribbon almost killed me, and I don't think I'm going to do this at the Fringe because it's a dangerous act at this point.
Are you feeling the ribbons are holding you back? I liked the ribbons though. Is there any way that
they're really? I need some water because it's really
I
bad.
bet. Yeah, you must need some water after that. That was sort of. Is this traditional Belarus dancing?
So yeah, it's a traditional outfit. Obviously, people would not wear it now. It's more like if you're part of a dance group or a choir. And it was the truth. Basically, I got this when I was 14, and now I'm 31, and it still fits. And I do think it's Chernobyl and radiation, definitely, because I haven't grown. Yeah.
You genuinely think it's Chernobyl why you still fit into that dress?
How else do you fit in this dress like that? Yeah, I haven't changed.
Yeah, okay. I'm really sorry about that. That's awful. And
Appreciate it.
To just go back to the choreo for a second, that obviously isn't the way Belarus people dance in. Is it? Is it a version of? Is it a version of traditional dance but done to the Spice Girls?
So again, the truth. This is how we learn English. Usually, it's from pop songs,
yes,
like Britney Spears and Spice Girls and Lady Gaga.
Do you have a very odd vocabulary? Because did you spend ages trying to work out what a zig-a-zig-ar was?
Yes, probably.
Really want a zig-a-zig-ar? Just go into London shops. I'll have a zig-a-zig-ar, please. Yeah, because I love the idea of learning English from songs. But how do you ever know what it means? Because I could sing a Chinese song 100 times, still wouldn't have an in on what it meant.
Oh, good question. So at some point, I actually didn't. I was just learning words. My favorite song was Candy Shop, actually.
Candy Shop?
Candy Shop.
Who sings Candy Shop?
50 Cent. And he was like, I'll take you to the candy shop. I'll let you lick the lollipop.
Oh, my God.
Well, guys, come to Belarus.
Oh
yeah, and I honestly didn't know the lyrics, like the meaning. Because you just sing, right? You don't really...
also, if you looked them up in a dictionary or online, it
later
would say, I'm going to a sweet shop.
Correct, and you just lick a lollipop.
And I'm going to get a lollipop,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that had a nefarious
No, quite
innuendo.
innocent.
No.
Yeah.
For that, you'd have to look up the words nefarious and innuendo. So did you Google what the lyrics meant and then figure it out?
Yeah, much later. So when I moved to India at 16, so then the rest of my growing up was happening there.
Why did you move to India?
I moved there by myself, but I was staying in a family of friends of our family, so I wasn't alone. But there are many reasons, but one of the reasons is that I wanted to go to US, but I didn't get visa. And so India was the only...
I wouldn't try again now if I was you.
I'm not planning to, no. I want to stay here.
But we want you to stay here too, if there's anything we can do to help.
Thank you. My play is all about getting global talent visa as well. So there is lots of stuff about visa. If you want to ask me anything about visa, please come to me, I'll tell you. But yeah, so I moved there for different reasons, but mostly political, just because it's impossible to do any kind of work in Belarus. So India always fascinated me with its culture, with its movies, and I grew up singing Indian songs as well, and that's how I learned Hindi, and that was that's my third language, basically, that I can speak.
Were you drawn there because of Bollywood?
Yeah. I think, again, like I said, my mother was married 3 times, so I've seen men come and go, and in Bollywood films, they would always show the beautiful families, they stick with each other, there is only one father and one mother, and I was like, whoa, this is so cool. So, Bollywood is sort of a fairy tale for me, in a way,
Yeah, no, I understand that. And then you've come here. How long have you been performing?
I've been here for about 3.5 years, yeah.
And you've been doing comedy here that whole time?
Yeah, so I started comedy when the war started, basically. So it was after a year of being here, because I've been doing theatre my whole life, but it's just been difficult doing it in Belarus. But I was doing it in India.
People can't applaud. You don't know when
Crazy,
it's over.
right?
Yeah.
Silence.
Is that really true that they just banned it because it was used as a protest? So they said no. But what happens at the end of the ballet? Not to really harp on about the ballet, but we've already raised it tonight.
They just nod. They just nod.
No.
Yeah.
That must be awful. So they don't get anything. You know, have you ever been to a performance of a deaf theatre company and people go like that? They wave their hands in the air.
Yes.
Do they do anything like that to show the performers they enjoyed it?
They should do that.
They just
then.
nod.
Yeah.
That is absurd. What? Because the president is too much of a baby to hear applauding, because once the applauding was a protest against him.
Yeah, it's an act of resistance, basically.
It's very difficult to imagine a president that childish. This is just going to be such a wonderful show. I'm so excited about it. Where can we see it?
Guys, you can see it at the Space on the Mile at 10:40 in the morning. It's an evening show, but I only got morning slots, so I promise you a lot of fun. At 10:40 a.m., yeah,
Are you providing coffee or croissants, or is it bring your own?
Okay, yeah. I will.
Okay, yeah. I feel like you need something to entice people in at 10:40, because often they're just getting up at that point. So you need to say, come on in. So people have got to get up to come and see this, because it's such a good show to see. Go and get yourself a coffee, and it's your first show of the day. By 11:40, you're going to have seen a show. You're going to feel really satisfied that you're going to have seen a show before lunch. And how can we follow you on social media? Because I'm sure you'll do the show in London and other places.
Yeah, that's the plan. So you can find me at Anastasiya.ji.
Anastasiya.ji. I asked Anastasiya backstage, am I saying your name correctly? And I said Anastasiya Ador, and she said, it's really Anastasiya Ador, but that's fine. And I said, so Anastasiya Ador, and she went, that's fine. I thought I did it perfectly. Say it again. Say it. Teach me to say it.
Yeah, it's Anastasiya.
Anastasiya.
But I really don't mind. Anastasia is also fine. It's just more Western, that's it.
Okay, Anastasiya Ador.
Yeah, perfect. Love it. I love the little...
It's not perfect. She's lying now because she knows, because she wants to go home. It's been an absolutely wonderful night. You have been a terrific audience in, frankly, a very hot box. And we thank so much the wonderful Soho Theatre people who are all here doing wonderful jobs. Big round of applause for Soho Theatre. Especially as we've run over. Big round of applause for yourselves, because you've been such a lovely supportive audience tonight. For Olivia and the Jumbotron on the second date. Let us know how that goes. Huge round of applause for Bec Hill, Fraser, Ria Lina, Anastasiya Ador. Please go on wherever you get your podcast. Leave us a 5-star review, because it helps people find us. And whatever you do, hit the follow button. Even if you don't listen, hitting the subscribe or the follow button really helps us. You don't have to listen every week. And even if you really hate the show, but you want to support us because you like feminism, just pop it on and have a shower. Turn it down. You don't need to. That really helps us keep going. Thank you so much. You have been wonderful. I've been Deborah Frances-White. We've been the Guilty Feminists. Good night. You have been listening to The Guilty Feminist with me, Deborah Frances-White, and my very special guests, Bec Hill, Fraser, Ria Lina, and Anastasiya Ador. The recording engineer was Grundy Lizimbra. The Guilty Feminist theme tune was composed by Mark Hodge. The producer was Tom Selinsky for The Spontaneity Shop. Thanks to Gina Dicio, Zainab Mohammed, and everyone at Soho Theatre, as well as all of you for listening. For more information about this and other episodes, visit guiltyfeminist.com. What number are you, feminist? 1 to 10? A 5, another 5. We've got another 5. I like a man with self-awareness. The Guilty Feminist is provided exclusively from Acast. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.